This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel 1970-73 Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler YouTube channel.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1970-73 Carryover League. We are continuing in the postseason tournament in the first round and also in the National League to the National League East, where the Mets, first place Mets, are playing somebody we didn't expect to be in second place, the Florida Marlins, as it was projected for the Phillies or the Atlanta Braves to be in this spot, but the Marlins played the Braves, were down 0-3, and ripped off 4 straight wins. And then to add insult to the Braves season, the Mets beat the Braves 4-1, causing the Braves to fall out of second place. So the Marlins get the invitation to participate in the series, whether they like it or not, to attempt to go for the division lead in the National League East, which is, as you can expect, pretty unlikely, folks. What do the Marlins have to do? Well, the way this works is, let's go to our tournament schedule here for the first round. For getting to the top of the division, the Florida, first of all, the Mets now have home field in this series because Florida had home field in the regular season schedule. That's on a rotating basis. But the Mets have it today in this series. Head-to-head, the Mets are also +2. They beat the Marlins 4-2 earlier. And the Marlins find themselves 5.5 games behind the Mets, with 7 games left in the season, is the way you have to look at it. So what has to happen in those final 7 games of the season? Well, basically, the Marlins have to win. You can look at this as they have to win 6 of the 7 games, which would still put them a half game back, but they would then control the tiebreaker after gobbling up that +2 the Mets would have had, theoretically, and win Game 8, a tiebreaker. So the Marlins have to win 7 of 8 games. Similar scenario the Cardinals had to do against the mighty Reds, and the Cardinals did a respectable job by splitting 4 games, which means that the Cardinals' wild card chances have not been dimmed. They can, they'll continue on to the second and probably third round of this tournament, we're guessing. But the Marlins, this is a situation for the Marlins. It's nothing but opportunity to gain. And for the Mets, not much opportunity to do anything except stumble. If they do, it would be, they want to get the Marlins. They want to finish them. Let's put it that way. So, let's see what's happened in the series thus far that opened up in Shea Stadium. It is the Marlins at the Mets. The day off at the break. Teams go back to their number 1 starters. Steve Arlen for the Marlins, Tom Seaver for the Mets. Early in the game, 2 outs, a walk, and then a 2-run homer by Chico Simone, and these gritty Marlins get an early 2-0 lead. But then Simone stumbles here in the third. After a couple walks, he boots a ground ball to load the bases. Mets get a run on a double play grounder by Cleon Jones, and then on a 2-out single by Willie Mays. We have a 2-2 tie. Actually stays that way in a rather slumbering game for the Mets until the 7th. Again with 2 outs, the Mets get something going here. A walk, a single, and a walk. And it is a 3-2 Mets lead, and Tom Seaver finishes the job. Seaver's line in this 3-2 Mets win is 9 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts in a complete game. Steve Arlen has kind of a wacky box in his start. In 6 2/3 innings, he gave up just 2 hits, 3 runs, 1 was earned, 9 walks, 5 strikeouts. That's a line you're not going to see very often in Strat. But the Mets get the win, and so I play the first elimination game, which is this one, folks, game number 2, in Shea. And if the Marlins win this game on the road, they would enjoy possibly 3 games in their home park. In game 2, the Marlins will ask Ed Acosta to continue their quest to the top of the division. And after All-Star Tom Seaver pitched in game 1, the Mets will follow up with All-Star John Matlack in game number 2. From Shea Stadium, let's get started. Leading off for the Marlins, Manuel Mota. 6'11", bounces to first. This is Cranepool, a 3-3 at first, makes the play. Ellie Rodriguez, 55, bounces to short. This is the black hole of baseball, Bud Harrelson. He actually gave up a couple errors at the beginning of last year, like in April, and has not been touched since, of course. Gil Gerardo, 46, skies the center. Bottom of the first, Frank Johnson leading off today. Fly ball to left. The Mets are a team that likes to enjoy flipping out their leadoff hitter as a fun thing to do, since they don't really have a bona fide number 1. Wayne Garrett, 42, skies to right. And batting third is Cleon Jones, 38, is a K. Top of 2, Hal McRae, 37. Let's take a look at the Hal McRae card, because he hits a lot of long balls against lefties. He would have been a Cincinnati Red with a 72 card, mostly as a pinch hitter. Played, he played right field in that 72 series against Oakland, I recall there in the highlights. 3-7, homer 1-14, and he just gets it over the wall. That is gone. And just like in the second inning of game 1, the Marlins strike first. Vic Davalillo walks. Ace Steeler, you may as well go out guns blazing here, Marlins. If you really think you're going to win this division. Let's try a stolen base against the -3 McGrody. And he rolls a 3. Grody, surprised the guy would even challenge him. Does not hit the T rating. It's 1-8. But give Davalillo second base. You got a runner in scoring position for Chico Simone. And 2-12 is a Lomax. It is a 5-4-4 double play. Line drive to third baseman. Caught the guy leaning. Threw back to second base for the double play. 2 outs, and it's Cesar Gutierrez. Pops to short. Bottom of the second. Willie Mays. 1-9. Let's take a look at the Willie Mays card, the guy they acquired in the offseason. If they're going to do a repeat or even attempt a repeat, can't rely on being as lucky as you were last year. You've got to get some talent. And they got a guy. They got Willie Mays, not the worn out version of 72-73. No, they got this Willie Mays, the 1970 card. They traded 2 draft picks and Kent Singleton to get. 1-9, solo shot. We're tied. Ed Cranepool rolls the third. Don Clendenon skies the center. And Bud Harrelson bounces to short. We go to the third. Jose Pagan, 1-5 is a K. Luis Melendez skies the center. And Manuel Mota, 34, bounces to short. We go to the bottom of the third. Grody, base hit, 1-4-7. Ted Martinez, 4-5 off Acosta's column again as a base hit in the center field. Grody will hold there. Runners at first and second for Frank Johnson. 54, center X. Oh boy, not good news there. Marlins. Center field is a 4E2. Actually, no, they got Melendez out there today. He's a 3E4. A 3 in center field, but even a 3 in center field gives up a double. That will score a run. Runners at second and third. Nobody out, and it's Wayne Garrett. 1-5 is a K. So bring it up with 1 out for Cleon Jones. 5-10 is a walk, and trouble is brewing here for the Marlins, I fear, in the bottom of the third inning. Bases loaded, 1 out, and it's Willie Mays. 2-5 is ball 4. The Mets, one of the top on-base teams in baseball, adding insult to injury to the rest of the National League. Ed Kranepool. 2-6. Let's take a look at Kranepool's card of 71. 280 hitter, 14 home runs. This is a clean single in the center. 1 run scores. Cleon will definitely take on a +1 arm. Makes it 1 of 17. And he rolls a 17, barely sliding in safely. A 2-run single. Willie Mays, if he's a 14 runner, he goes to third. He does. He's a 16 runner. So runners are on the corner, still with 1 out, and it's Clendenon. 47, again, off the Acosta column. It is a base hit. Willie Mays scores. Kranepool stays put at second. First and second, still just 1 out. We're getting dangerously close to breaking at Acosta. But Harrelson lines the first. And Jerry Grody, 64, catcher's card, nobody at third. This is Ellie Rod, is a 2E5. And that's a wild pitch, but the inning is over. 6-1 lead for Tom Seaver. And yeah, that's not, what you wanted to have happen, All right. Top of the 4th. It's Ellie Rodriguez. 3-11 is a walk. Gil Gerardo. 6-11. First X. Kranepool's a 3E3. And that 3E5 is a GBA. Hal McRae, the offense at this point for the Marlins, bounces to third. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Gets 3 guys on base, we'll call him broken. Ted Martinez, 410, third X. Pagan's a 4E21, and that's a single. Frank Johnson, 66, guy's a center. Wayne Garrett, 4-4 off Acosta, homer, 1-19. It is gone, a 2-run blast. And we're a hit away from sending Ed to the showers. Cleon Jones, 2-6, and Cleon obliges. That'll do it. Not a good day to be Ed Acosta, who actually was Ed Acosta had a really nice year for the Padres in 71, 3-3, 2.74 ERA. No relation to Cy Acosta, who is in the Met bullpen. Though they probably exchanged pleasantries in the pregame. 3 1/3 innings for Ed Acosta, and he will leave the game with a runner at first and 1 out. And it is already 8-1, and the writing's on the wall, folks. We'll try and get you through this one. Ken Reynolds will come out of the Marlin pen. This is all the fault of the Atlanta Braves. They literally lost 8 of their last 9 games at the All-Star break to somehow fall out of second place. Because Braves-Mets would have been a fun series to play again, even though the Mets handled the Braves the first time. I could have seen the Braves getting revenge. The Braves have to now consider the wild card as their ticket to the playoffs. Ken Reynolds comes on to face Willie Mays with a runner at first and 1 out. 1-8! Oh boy, folks. They're just padding their stats in Shea. A 2-run homer, second of the day for Willie Mays. Yes, that was the biggest move in the offseason. That trade has paid off well. As great as Ken Singleton was last year to the Mets, Willie Mays has been that and a bag of chips this year for the Mets. All right. Kranepool will leave as he can hit lefty as well. Clendenon goes to first. We'll start rotating some bench players in. Bobby Heiss will bat and play second base. Bobby Heiss lines to short. And with 2 outs, it is Clendenon. 53, rolls to first base. Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of upsets have happened in this league this year, but the Mets have not been a part of it. They've won everything they've done. Every series they've won. Vic Davalillo, 112. There's such a thing as power rankings in this league. The Mets have been sitting on the 1 for a long time now. With the Cincinnati Reds as a 2 and maybe Oakland as a 3. After that, it gets kind of hazy. Chico Simone, 2-9. Single 1-8 is single. Cesar Gutierrez, 59, second C. Runner at second for Pagan. Rolls first. Bottom of the fifth, it'll be Bud Harrelson. 58, triple 1 to 10 double. It's a triple. Jerry Grody, 2-5, grounds to third. Runner holds up at third base there. Ted Martinez, 1-8, grounds to short. That time he'll score from third on a ground ball to short with the infield back. And with 2 outs, it's Frank Johnson. Short X, and he's not very good. Actually, he's not too bad. He's a 3.34, but he makes an error anyway. Wayne Garrett, 1-8 against a lefty is a walk. There are still 2 men on for Cleon Jones, who grounds to short. 11-1, we go to the 6th. Matlack might have a short day to allow his bullpen to get some use. Louis Melendez, 65, triple 1 to 2 is a base hit. Manny Mota, 45, skies to center. Ellie Rodriguez, 2-5, is a 5-4-3 double play. Seen enough out of Matlack. He'll enjoy a nice little break here after 6 innings. Not the first time he was pulled early in a rout, which says a whole lot about the Mets season. All right, Kenny Reynolds will leave after 5 outs, and he'll turn it over to a rotating bullpen, beginning with Casey Cox in the 6th to face our guy, Willie Mays. 2 homers and a walk thus far. The pitch to Willie, 37. Well, there's another walk. He alternates homer, walk thus far. Bobby Heiss. Oh, that would be cruel to do a hit and run when you're up by 10. Now he won't. He'll hit away. Bobby Heiss, 111. That's a 6-4-3 double play. He's trying to get this game over with. Clendenon, 411, first C. 11-1 in the 7th. We're going to turn to the Met bullpen. Gary Gentry will come out. Gary Gentry. He, of course, won one of those 1969 World Series games against Baltimore. This is his 1970 card. Was penciled in as the number 4 starter until the Mets were looking at relief help and couldn't find any, and they found Jim Bunning as starting pitching help. So Bunning went into the rotation, and Gentry got kicked to the pen. So if Bunning were to falter this year, Gentry would take up the 4 spot. Gil Gerardo, 2-2, pops to second. Hal McRae strikes out. Davalillo, 1-9, is a base hit. Chico Simone, 2-9, is a sky to center field. All right. In the 7th inning, we will now have Tom Bergmeyer come in and pitch. Bergmeyer was the Marlin All-Star, having an excellent year. He's the lefty in the pen. We'll face Bud Harrelson, 5-10 is a walk. Bud's not going to steal. Grody's not going to hit and run. They're just going to roll through this. 46, doesn't matter. It's a clean single for Grody anyway. Harrelson will stay put at second. First and second, they're just going to go station to station during this. They know they got an expansion team over there. They don't want to embarrass them. 56, they fly to left. Frank Johnson, 65, skies to right. And with 2 outs, Wayne Garrett. 58, it's a bouncer to short. He is a 3-34. That's a single dot to load the bases for Cleon Jones. 59, rolls to second. And it stays 11-1. Gentry leaves after his inning. We'll go to Frizella in the 8th. As the Mets are going to clean their arms out, give them some fresh air. Cesar Gutierrez in the 8th. 67 is a K. Pagan, 67. Yes, same thing. Louis Melendez rolls to first base. Well, we get what we thought we were getting, folks. A blowout. Mets burying the Marlins. 11-1. Bottom of the 8th. Final member of the bullpen of the Marlins, Jose Pena. Not a good day for the Marlins. It's a shame because we've seen them play very well on YouTube prior to this. I will recommend the Braves Marlins series as a shocking 0-3 comeback if you really want some drama. Willie Mays trying to stay perfect today. 2-5. Yeah, he does. It's ball 4. 2 for 2, and they didn't throw a strike to him after that. Bobby Heiss, 2-5 lines a second. Clendenon, 46, double 1 to 2, base hit. Runners on the corners for Harrelson. 64 short X. Here we go with that's a ground ball B. The infield was up because he's in a bunter, so he's out of play in that particular instance. And it's Grody, 34, pops out. 11-1 in the 9th. We will have Cy Acosta come out of the Met pen. He actually was a member of the Chicago White Sox in '72. He was left unclaimed on the extra player list, and after the Mets bullpen got raided by the rest of Major League Baseball, they had to go out of the organization to find another pitcher, and they found Cy Acosta. Nice guy here. Really complements McGraw and Frizella very well. So in the ninth, it'll be Manny Mota. 1-6 is a triple 1-5 single. Ellie Rodriguez, 1-9, skies a left. Gil Gallardo, 67 is a K. And with 2 outs, Hal McRae, bouncer to third base. This is Garrett, a 2 at third base. And he makes the play, and that is your quickly played game as the Marlins have to think of another way of getting into the playoffs if possible, and maybe they should be glad to be near 500 at this point. I think they just fell beneath it. We'll do the box, look at the 2 team stats and where they will continue in this tournament. Acosta, a hit and a K in the ninth. Frizella, a couple Ks. Gentry, a hit and a K. Another win from Matlack. Ho-hum, he's done it so much since his rookie debut last year. 2 walks and a strikeout. Pena, hit and a walk. Bergmeyer, 2 hits and a walk. Casey Cox, a walk. You're getting the idea about walks, folks. Ken Reynolds, give up the homer Willie Mays in that inning. And then a hit, a walk, and an unearned run in the next inning. And everything else is Cy Acosta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. And yeah, 9 runs. Oh boy, yeah, they're all earned. That's going to sting the old ERA. And he walked 2 and struck out 2. And he gets the loss. 1009, 0108, 1114, 15, 25, 62, 6225. Well, the New York Mets are going to hope to go pole to pole, coast to coast this season. Doesn't happen a lot. It really doesn't. It's not the way to do this sort of thing. It's usually the teams get hot in the playoffs. And the Mets have, as great as the team would be, they've exceeded expectations at this point. So, unfortunately, you think there might be a slump coming at some point. So the Mets are now 22-8 with the best record in baseball, hitting .303 with a .322 ERA. Most of that .322 ERA is when they leave guys in because they have a big lead. Otherwise, it would be certainly below 3, you'd think. Seaver 7-2, Matlack 6-1. The leading hitter, oh my goodness, I guess it's Cleon Jones with 45 hits. He's hitting .333, but how's Willie Mays doing? 39 for 117. He's hitting .333. Mays has just 6 home runs, believe it or not. So 2 of them you just saw, there's 6. But he's got 27 RBI. Yeah, Mets doing everything right. Marlins, give them some props. They just fell back under 500 after getting above it. They're 16-17, but still overachieving for a nothing kind of roster. 243 as a club, 4.25 ERA. They're going for the Commissioner Award for roster participation with 971 points. So they're probably going to empty their bullpen and get the role players to play as much as possible in the rest of this tournament. It's doubtful this team has a playoff trajectory. We've played 479 games at this point and hitting .263 with a .387 ERA. Let's take a look at the postseason now. We can plug in the results. Florida needing a 7-1. They would not have any of that. The Mets win this 2-0, which beats the Mets. And interestingly, last year, the World Series year, at this point, the Mets were 18-13. And they are 4.5 games better. They're 22-8. And you see, Philly was their opponent last year. Now, this year was Florida, who is 16-17 now. And when we look globally at the standings in the National League East, you see the Mets are 14 over 500, and the Reds are now just 11 over 500 because the Reds had a more formidable opponent in the Cardinals. So it looks like the Mets are probably going to end up at a 1, and the Reds will probably end up at a 2. Maybe that's good for the Reds to be a 2. They've been a 1 the last few years and have really come short trying to win a World Series. So maybe they have to do it a different way. With the Marlins 16 and 17, the Braves now have a great opportunity to move into second and have the Marlins fall into third. The East plays the West in the postseason tournament second round, which means that they would tangle with the Astros and Giants. Giants still have to play in this round. The middle teams, Cardinals and Pirates would play the Rockies and Diamondbacks. We still have more action to go in the first round of the tournament before that happens. Thanks for checking this all out, folks. Congratulations, Mets. They stay on a roll. 7 straight series wins. They're the best team in Strat-O-Matic. We'll see you next time.